When we first got the title of Venom 2, aka Venom Let There Be Carnage, we were all sort of like, well, it's not as bad as Far From Home, but it's definitely got that Sony stink on it, and it is a title that lets you know exactly what the film is about. As it turns out, that's the better title out of the ones we could have had, so let's talk about some bad ideas. Do you guys remember any of the terrible, and I mean absolutely god-awful titles that we could have had for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? Because there was plenty of them. Batman vs Superman, Son vs Son, Son of Son, Batman vs Superman Fight or Flight, The Man of Steel versus The Dark Knight Epic Battle, Justice League Origins, Justice League Foundation. Anyways, I list those because there's typically terrible, awful names for films that are rejected. With comics, there's never a shortage of them. I mean, sometimes we get some after the film releases where you really consider that. Which brings us to Venom 2. Speaking with Collider, the director Andy Serkis talked a little bit about the title of Venom Let There Be Carnage. And he talked about potential alternative titles. Obviously, Venom Lethal Protector was brought up. But as it turns out, that was never really an idea for the second film's title. That was more of just something that's out there. But he did mention that at one point, they did consider naming the film Venom Love Will Tear Us Apart. And for a bit, that was the title they were going to go with up until somebody was like, what if we just call it Let There Be Carnage? And then everybody's like, I guess a light bulb went off. They're like, my God, that's exactly what the film is about. Imagine the marketability of putting Carnage in the title. So, I guess in this case, we really dodged a bullet. I mean, Venom Love Will Tear Us Apart sounds so bad. It is so bad that I'm honestly like, I can't believe they actually admitted that this was a thing that they were considering and going to go with. But again, this is Sony. Their naming scheme for films is not exactly the best. Like, they're one of those studios where you're like, man, how did you guys get this far with this? Who okayed this? Like, they still very much have titles that seem like they're straight from the year 2000, which I guess credit to them when credit is due for attempted throwback or unironic throwbacks, or maybe ironic throwbacks. I don't really know with Sony, but luckily they picked a good one, and hopefully going forward they can keep the simplicity. Like, you don't need to, try to be artsy with Venom 3. Just, you gotta have Venom in the title and somehow add Spider-Man to it and you're set. It's pretty easy. Just don't call it Venom versus Spider-Man for the love of everything.